Okay. Looks like we're good to go. Question mark? Okay, yeah, I think... Nope. Sorry. Had to figure out what I was doing for a second there. What's up, cool people? So, been a little while since I've streamed on YouTube here, but, I wanted to try things out on Twitch just to see how that went, and it was alright, but, honestly, I think on the whole, I'm a bit better off doing my live streams here for the moment, because I don't really have the time in my schedule to do both. At least not consistently, and I'd rather at least be consistent with one or the other. Of course, that being said, I might have to do things a little different next week, but we'll get there when we get there. But anyway, so yeah, I just part of the reason for me coming back here was just because of the somewhat recent news of Twitch streamer pay rates or whatever you want to call them, and figuring some people might hop over here because of that. Also, like, I was getting more, interaction and engagement with my live streams here before I went over to Twitch, and so, like, that was another big thing that I, figured would play into, me kind of being better off, at least for the moment, doing my live streams here on YouTube. And plus, the majority of my plans, for future content and things like that, all kind of revolve around YouTube. But anyway, real quick, before I get into the meat of the content, I should probably send some sort of notice out to people that I'm actually streaming right now. At least Twitter. So you're streaming now on YouTube. Don't know if it'll... I wonder if I go in here and, like, maybe I could see some information about the... if there's a particular link to share or anything like that. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to take too long doing this, so actually, I wonder if I could go to my profile on here and find the YouTube link from there. Yeah. But that, okay. Share. Copy link. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's try this again. Streaming now on YouTube, and then I paste the link, and hopefully... oh, good grief, really? It still uses that old... it's still, like, because I don't have a big enough YouTube channel, it still has not let me change the name of it from, like, way back in the early 2000s when I first created an account with YouTube. So yeah, cringe username, but whatever. Things have changed. Okay. Alright, it doesn't show the link like that on Twitter. Yay. That's kind of an embarrassing URL for it, but whatever. Anyway, okay, enough of that. I think it's about time I actually maybe get into the meat of the live stream here. So for those of you who either forgot or missed when I did my live streams before, I usually like to start it off at least with a little Bible study, putting the Christian in the Christian gamer, name. But I'll start it off with some Bible study, do a little bit of gaming in the middle, and I'm probably going to just end it with some Bible study as well. I think my plan for this one, it's going to have to be a little short because I have other plans today, but for this live stream, I think I'm going to go, chapter of Bible study, one kind of recording block of gaming, and then another chapter of Bible study at the end. But anyway, suppose I should hop right into that then. Okay. So, we've got Exodus chapter 26 for the moment. For those of you who aren't up to speed on what's going on here in Exodus, God's people, the Israelites, have left their slavery in Egypt, and they went through the wilderness a bit. They've made it to Mount Sinai, and God at Mount Sinai is basically telling Moses a bunch of rules, regulations, things for the people to follow moving forward regarding, what God wants from them, things he wants them to do and how to interact with each other, but also how they're to, basically worship him and, interact with him in the future as well. Him being God, I mean. So we're kind of in the midst of that, talking about building the tabernacle, which will become like the primary place of meeting for, basically the priests who want to go to God and, make sacrifices for the people or want to, worship God, hear from God, like any of the special ceremonial things will be linked to the tabernacle in the future. But anyway, so that kind of catches you up to speed on Exodus so far and where we are right now in chapter 26. So let's get this thing rolling here. So starting with verse 1, obviously, because why would you start anywhere else in the chapter? Make the tabernacle from 10 curtains of finely woven linen. Decorate the curtains with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and with skillfully embroidered cherubim. These 10 curtains must all be exactly the same size, 42 feet long and 6 feet wide. Join 5 of these curtains together to make one long curtain. Then join the other 5 into a second long curtain. Put loops of blue yarn along the edge of the last curtain in each set. The 50 loops along the edge of one curtain are to match the 50 loops along the edge of the other curtain. Then make 50 gold clasps and fasten the long curtains together with the clasps. In this way, the tabernacle will be made of one continuous piece. So, the tabernacle is, meant to be something that the people could use, like, even in the wilderness as a place of meeting and worship. And so with that in mind, rather than being some sort of, solid, stone or whatever building like you might think of as a temple or place of worship, this is more like a tent that's going to be made of, curtains essentially. And if I'm understanding this right, it's basically going to be taking, two long curtains that'll go the entire length of it and just, like, fastening those together at each end. So the dimensions, by the way, in the Hebrew we'll say, it's measured in cubits rather than feet, but with this being the New Living Translation, which, kind of aims to be a bit more modern, maybe not specifically Americanized, but, a more modern understanding. I mean, the fact that it uses feet probably means that it's a bit Americanized as well. Or, I mean, unless feet were just a closer, more accurate estimation with whole units compared to cubits. I don't know. But anyway. So, God's giving Moses the instructions for making the outside, basically the tent part of the tabernacle. We already got some instructions in the last chapter regarding the Ark of the Covenant and the table that's supposed to be within the tabernacle and the lampstand. So we've got some of the inner, tools, instruments, and different things that'll be within the tabernacle. But there's also, now getting into the outer part of it. Anyway. So, moving along to verse 7. Make 11 curtains of goat hair cloth to serve as a tent covering for the tabernacle. These 11 curtains must be exactly the same size, 45 feet long and 6 feet wide. Join 5 of these curtains together to make one long curtain, and join the other 6 into a second long curtain. Allow 3 feet of material from the second set of curtains to hang over the front of the sacred tent. Make 50 loops for one edge of each large curtain, then make 50 bronze clasps, and fasten the loops of the long curtains with the clasps. In this way, the tent covering will be made of one continuous piece. The remaining 3 feet of this tent covering will be left to hang over the back of the tabernacle. Allow 18 inches of remaining material to hang down over each side, so the tabernacle is completely covered. Complete the tent covering with a protective layer of tanned ram skins and a layer of fine goatskin leather. Okay, so we've got the thread that's like the kind of initial covering for the tabernacle, but then you have the probably more so what we would think of today as a tent covering, kind of almost more tarp-ish or something more akin to that goes over that initial covering of the tabernacle. And it maybe I should get into a habit of looking up some of these, some images for these things rather than just going with the verses, because of course that would require me to look ahead a little bit, whereas so far I've been doing all this off the top of my head. But anyway, that footnote's probably just more about the dimensions. 30 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. Was that the same? That said 28 cubits long, which, I mean, if it's going to go over top of the initial, covering, then yeah, I mean, this has to be bigger in order to protect the inner layer. 3 feet, that's probably more about the dimensions. The half sheet that is left over. Okay. There was another footnote I missed. He wrote double over the 6th sheet at the front. Okay. So, I'm guessing somewhere in here with some of this overlap might be, where the entry to the tabernacle would be. Although, yeah. Because it mentions that extra material hanging over the front, which would make sense if that's where you want the entrance to be. Then you just kind of, pull back the extra material and duck under it on your way in, or something like that. Whereas the back end is actually fastened together. So, and then I guess over top of the cloth that is covering the initial, linen. The first layer is linen, then you've got cloth covering that. But then there's also going to be ram skins and goat skin leather on top of that, which that might be kind of more akin to what we would think of for a tent covering, just in terms of general, texture and stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. So, we've now got 3 different layers for this tabernacle, this tent of meeting that, the Israelites are going to use in the future. Which, I guess also, maybe the different layers helped with kind of insulation and stuff. That might have been part of the idea as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. Anyway, moving on to verse 15. Also, apologies if there are comments coming in while I'm going over this. I just realized I don't... In the transition back to YouTube, I seem to have lost the chat box along the side. Maybe next time I'll have that fixed. But anyway. Okay, moving on to verse 15. For the framework of the tabernacle, construct frames of acacia wood. Each frame must be 15 feet high and 27 inches wide, with 2 pegs under each frame. Make all the frames identical. Make 20 of these frames to support the curtains on the south side of the tabernacle. Also make 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame, with pegs fitting securely into the bases. For the north side of the tabernacle, make another 20 frames, with their 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. Make 6 frames for the rear, the west side of the tabernacle, along with 2 additional frames to reinforce the rear corners of the tabernacle. These corner frames will be matched at the bottom and firmly attached at the top with a single ring, forming a single corner unit. Make both of these corner units the same way. So there will be 8 frames at the rear of the tabernacle, set in 16 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. Okay, so now we're getting into some of the support structure for the tabernacle that'll, hold it up whenever they, camp at a particular place and need to actually set up the tent. Because, linen and cloth and ramskins will not stay up on their own. They need a support structure in order to operate that way. I do wonder a bit why, some of the support structure is... Okay, so I guess all the bases to hold it up are made with silver. All the bases and the poles or whatever that are supposed to hold it up are made of that. And I guess they attach to wood panels that would help keep it, which kind of makes sense. You wouldn't want the panels I mean, the panels being made of metal would be, like, extra, extra heavy, which, you know, there's good and bad to that. But I guess in order to, you know, give it support without going, like, totally overboard on the weight of it, the panels are going to be made of wood, whereas the poles and the bases to sort of hold those panels in place are going to be made out of silver. I say going to be, you know, thinking of the context of the situation. Anyway. Sorry, needed a quick sip of water there for a sec. But anyway, moving on to verse 26. I'm going to try and not take too long getting through this in case I'm missing any chat comments. Anyway, okay, verse 26. Make crossbars of acacia wood to link the frames. 5 crossbars for the north side of the tabernacle, and 5 for the south side. Also make 5 crossbars for the rear of the tabernacle, which will face west. The middle crossbar, attached halfway up the frames, will run all the way from one end of the tabernacle to the other. Overlay the frames with gold, and make gold rings to hold the crossbars. Overlay the crossbars with gold as well. Okay, so now we've got kind of the support beams to go between the panels and the, you know, support poles or whatever. And with them being what really support the weight of it all, or having a lot to do with the support structure, those are going to be overlaid with gold for extra stability, I guess. So you got you've got the rear of the tabernacle facing west, which, you know, I guess depending on where exactly they were, you know, figuring they're somewhere kind of, you know, northeast of Egypt. West would have faced toward Egypt, kind of away from where they were. So then, like, the opening, or what I assume would be the opening then, would be toward the east, away from all that. And north and south are just mentioned, I guess, because of some of the frames involved with the support structure. But anyway, moving on to verse 30, I guess. Set up this tabernacle according to the pattern you were shown on the mountain, which I assume would have been we're shown, like, this is kind of the first, although it says shown, so maybe God gave Moses some sort of image of it, you know, like what it was supposed to look like. I don't, or he's just kind of referring to some of the previous instructions as well. I don't know. Anyway, but I mean, like, duh. It doesn't seem like it would need to be repeated, but I guess, you know, God's like, okay, here are the instructions. Make sure that you follow these, okay? Otherwise, it's not going to work right. Anyway, verse 31. For the inside of the tabernacle, make a special curtain of finely woven linen. Decorate it with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and with skillfully embroidered cherubim. Hang this curtain on gold hooks attached to 4 posts of acacia wood. Overlay the posts with gold, and set them in 4 silver bases. Hang the inner curtain from clasps, and put the Ark of the Covenant in the room behind it. This curtain will separate the holy place from the most holy place. And you might say, why is there a holy place and a most holy place? Well, they would have served different purposes. Some, like the most holy place would have purely and only been, I think, for like, trying to hear from and or communicate directly with God. There would have been an outer place for like, different rituals and things to be performed in order to then be like purified and ritually ready for the most holy place, which is part of the reason there's a difference between those. Also, the whole embroidered cherubim. So part of the decoration is like, essentially angelic figures, kind of, maybe not scattered. Scattered might not be the best word, but like, at various places throughout the tabernacle, kind of to help signify that, okay, yeah, this is supposed to be a holy place. This is supposed to, represent, a glimpse of heaven and God and being able to see, hear from, communicate with God. And I'm guessing this footnote regarding, it says Ark of the Testimony. Testimony was kind of more so their term, or maybe a more accurate translation of the term that they used to refer to the Ark of the Covenant. But, or even just the covenant in general, because the testimony was also used more so to refer to what we think of as the tablets for the Ten Commandments and that, initial kind of set of laws that were set out. But anyway, okay. Let me wrap this up here and then, give some final thoughts, and then maybe I can see what chat may or may not be doing. So, verse 34. Then put the ark's cover, the place of atonement, on top of the Ark of the Covenant inside of the most holy place. Place the table outside the inner curtain on the north side of the tabernacle, and place the lampstand across the room on the south side. Make another curtain for the entrance to the sacred tent. Make it of finely woven linen and embroider it with exquisite designs using blue, purple, and scarlet thread. Craft 5 posts from acacia wood, overlay them with gold, and hang the curtain from them with gold hooks. Cast 5 bronze bases for the posts. So now we've got bronze bases, which I think maybe the difference of metals in part is supposed to signify, kind of the proximity to God, as, it would have related to the tabernacle and the different meeting places and such. Because you had the Ark of the Covenant in the most holy place, and that was pretty much all that was in the most holy place. Notice they also refer to it as the place of atonement. So, like, there were cherubim on the covering of the Ark of the Covenant, and like that was basically supposed to signify God's presence. So, with that being the case, that's why that was the most holy place, and also why that would have been separate from the rest of the tabernacle. And then there was the holy place, which contained the table and instruments, as well as the lampstand. And I get, if there was any more of the tabernacle outside of that, then that was just kind of the general entry, at least as far as I'm understanding this. But so we've got this tent that essentially has like 3 different possibly 3 different layers within it, at least 2, but I'm thinking 3 different layers within it, for different places of meeting that all serve different functions. The most holy place was just to meet with God. Outside of that, might have been sort of more, preparation, maybe offerings, things going on there. And then outside of that, might have been just a more general meeting place / entryway for it. But feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on any of that. But that's just my understanding as I'm reading it, and thinking about other things in my memory that sort of relate to this. But anyway, so I guess that does it for chapter 26. It was literally all related to the tabernacle and really the outer layers of it, or really just the layering in general of it, and the support structures and how that was all supposed to be laid out. But anyway, okay. So that does it for that little section of our live stream. I think at this point, I will transition here in just a little bit over to some gaming. And, okay. Nothing in chat, just thought I would check that out. I really need to see if there's a better way to have... Oh, I can do a pop-out chat to have it go sort of like that. Okay. Think that's what I might do from here on out, so I'm not necessarily forced to, look back and forth or really be stuck with not having any access to that while I look at other Bible things. Anywho, okay. So, I'm going to need just a moment here to switch things to gaming setup, and then we'll continue on with the live stream. So, be back in a moment. Okay. Sorry for the slight bit of extra delay between that. I realized I had a voicemail and wanted to look into that in the meantime. But okay, so for those of you who are just watching the live stream and aren't aware of what I've been doing on Twitch since I've been away, I am no longer playing Darksiders 2. I am now on a game called Digimon Survive. But this is just kind of as a break in the midst of the Darksiders series, because I played 2 games. There are 2 other main games left. But this one, so this game is what I've been playing lately, and it's like really heavy on the story. There's a bit of combat here and there that is like turn-based. Turn-based strategy, I think, is kind of the official video game terminology. But basically, it's like a Fire Emblem or XCOM or something like that, where you've got a, battlefield layout. You move your units along the battlefield and have them use particular attacks and abilities to fight the other people. In this case, other Digimon. But, yeah. So, alright, now that I'm actually going to get into talking a bit about the story, and I kind of want to record that, I'll, start that rolling, and then we'll really get into this here. Hold up. There we go. Alright, so after, having our group get together at the shrine, earthquake thing happened, people fell unconscious, got lost in the fog, and separated. We got kind of our main group here that is Takuma, Minoru, Ryo, and Aoi. And they've met up with the professor, who was previously, earlier as they were separated, was previously with Saki and Shuji, two of our other characters, who he was, I guess, somewhat sacrificing himself to protect them so they could get away, which is how he got separated from them. But now they're trying to follow the trail of breadcrumbs, so to speak, and get to Saki and Shuji. Oh, and by the way, everybody else besides the professor in this game, they're all, like, teenagers. Which, by the way, we have not seen head or tail of Kaito or Miu since the initial separation. These two we kind of happened upon as we, went to the school and kind of made that our base of operations. But anyway, okay, enough introduction. I just kind of want to get going with the game. So we find ourselves in this forest area. I have no clue if I've actually checked out these places, nor do I feel like bothering with it. We just, I guess, got done with, I don't know, kind of getting an idea. Oh, that's right. There were I think that was the battle with the Gomamon, who kind of said that that Saki and Shuji were headed toward a bridge. At least if I remember right. Which would be what this area is here. So we're gonna go this way and follow the trail and see if we can't find Saki and Shuji while we're at all this. Also, if there's voice acting, I will not be saying much. But if there's no voice acting, then I'll be reading what the characters say for you. Okay, I'm not hearing voice acting, so... Alright. Is this a river? There are more footprints. They must have come this way. Are there footprints on the other side? They might have used the river to lose the trail. That was clever, but... maybe they drowned? Q? No, we have to save them. Yes, we need to find them right away. Hang on. They might have gotten away. We need to find them. I agree with Minoru. I'm a little worried that we haven't found the dam yet. What should we do, Takuma? Also, yes, these are kind of the voices that I've gone with for the different characters. Anyway. They either drowned or found another way. Or something else entirely. And I have to say how I think, or what I think might have happened to them. Well, we don't want to assume they drowned. Because, no. To try to be positive here. But also, we don't want to give up on the trail. So I'm thinking looking somewhere else is kind of the best mentality to go into this with. If there was a risk of drowning, they wouldn't try crossing. They probably... It just says they went another way. I wouldn't be as sure as he is, but whatever. You're right. They must be okay. But where is that other way? Hey, you guys. What are you doing here? It's Gomamon. We were following the footprints of the kids we told you about. We got to the river. What? Weren't you headed for the dam? That's right. We couldn't find the way there. That's right. I completely forgot. It's really hard to find. There's only... I think that's supposed to say there's only one way. There's only one way to the dam. The canal is over there. Thank goodness. There is a way? There is indeed. And I'll show you. I owe it to you. Then let's go now. Yes, show us the way. It's this way. Follow me. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to come up with enough slightly different voices to give all the Digimon their own unique voices as this goes on. Real quick, I want to see if it'll give me anything to investigate in this little area, stream. Okay, just looking at the grass in the stream. But, maybe something in the grass? Found a power pineapple. So that's something that's just like a consumable item that can increase stats for the Digimon. But anyway, nothing else here, seemingly. So then to the aqueduct. With literally everybody there. Let me save real quick. Yeah, my other playthrough is getting close to the end. But anyway, not going to talk about that. And again, we look around a little bit. Is this a canal? Oh, look there. Up there. Wow, it really is a dam. That's the dam then? It's huge. Amazing. There was no canal or dam by the shrine. This is completely unexpected. They were headed this way. Let's go. But has me looking around anyway. Water's so clear. If things weren't quite so bad, it'd be fun to play in the river with everyone. And nothing else to examine, so talk to the professor, I guess? That Kemonogami, Gomamon? We're certain, right? Saki and Shuji should be over there. We're going to save them. Right. And I'm not about to put any of you at risk. Come on, let's hurry. Not sure what he means by putting them at risk. Oh hey, Saki.
私のことがわかるわけないでしょ。ついさっき出会ったばっかりなのに。わかるわよ。私はさっきのことなら何でもね。
Yeah,
そうなの？何それすごい。
that sounds a little sketchy. And that kind of stuff is, like, I would definitely have some hesitations were I in this situation.
ダメだ。僕もこれ以上はもう。
あなたまで何言ってんの？修二、頑張って。修二ならできるよ。
I guess maybe the Digimon are a little more used to running away from things. I don't know.
僕たちはもう。
逃げられそうにない。
もうダメだ。
あんなの勝てるわけがない。怖いよ。
See, that's more the attitude I'd expect, but
怖いのはみんなそうだろう。頼りにならないな。
but geez, harsh much.
ロップモンまで泣き言。いいわ、私だけでもあいつをやっつけてやる。
無理だよ。今までのどの怪物よりもあいつはでかいし強い。あんなのに捕まったらそれこそ頭からバリバリ食べられてしまう。
Given the howl, I mean, you expect it to be some sort of wolf-like thing.
やだ、僕はまだ死ぬわけには。
だったら死ぬ気で逃げなきゃ。さっきも。あら、大丈夫。ロップも怖くないよ。さあ、捕まって。あなたも泣き言言ってたくせに、なんでロップモンには優しい顔見せるの？
I mean, true.
第一、私と組んでるのはさっき。あなたなんだからね。そうね。でもとにかくあと少し。あとちょっと逃げ切れれば上に。
Almost makes you wonder if, you know, Saki kind of likes Lopmon a little more than Floramon. But, I don't know. Ah, it's Fangmon. We ran into him not too long ago.
もうダメだ。教授のおかげでここまで逃げ切れたのに。
So he seems to be assuming this is kind of end of the road. Exploration? Why is there exploration required for this? I guess, you know, because, you know, we are just who we are, and realistically speaking, we still have to find our way to where Saki and Shuji are. And of course, me being who I am, I like I kind of want to do, you know, as many of the things as I reasonably can. Especially if that includes, like, talking with characters and possibly getting their affinities up and whatnot. Anyway. Amazing. There really is a dam here. Can humans make something as big as this? Certainly. But we don't know if this structure here was truly man-made. Oh yeah, Takuma. I found this over there a while ago. I don't think I could get much use out of this. So why don't you take it, Takuma? Wow, are you sure? Of course. All of us benefit from you and Agumon building up your strength. Oh, come on, Aoi! Have a bit more self-confidence. Sorry, Labramon. I don't want your apologies either. Sorry. You're perfectly capable in your own right, Aoi. You should keep your head held high. Right. I'll try. I can't tell if you're mad at me or proud of me or what. What makes you think I'm mad? Aoi tends to be pretty reserved, but hopefully Labramon can keep her spirits up. See, in talking to the characters more like this, you know, gives you a bit more insight into who they are, how they think, and stuff like that. Anyway, that's weird. There's something about this place. There's a door. Man, sorry. The door to the underground waterway has a sturdy lock. We can't open it. Okay, Minoru, what say you? Is this the entrance to an underground waterway? Doesn't look like we can go in. Is it blocked with sand and dirt? No, it's locked, see? It is. Just a regular old lock. But with this pattern, it really stands out. What an odd structure. You are certainly well versed in such matters, Minoru. I guess you could say that. Still, this place isn't just some parallel world, with all these buildings around. Yeah, it's as weird as you say. I wonder if we'll ever solve the mystery. Who knows? Anyway, let me give you this. I picked it up back there. An earnest banana. No, you should keep it. You would take better care of it. That's not much of a reason. Whoa now. Oh, it's just a text. Wait, a text? How the heck did that get through? And why is it all messed up? So you got one of those garbled messages too? Two? You mean you got one too? So like, does that mean we could phone home or... Nope, no good. Can't get a signal. Damn. Well, no use whining about it. Let's worry about that later. Also, for those of you concerned with language, yeah, there are some words here and there. I'll admit that. But I mean, that's part of the reason this game is rated teen, and I'm just reading off what they say, kind of for authenticity's sake, for lack of a better way to put it. Anyway, okay, to the base. Wow, there really is a dam here. I can't believe humans could build something so big. But if this isn't from this world, how did something so huge end up here? Who knows? This has been here for as long as I can remember. So like a few years? Then again, seeing Agumon's reaction, it could even be a few days ago. There's nothing there either. Then do we just go in? It's possible. Where's the entrance? Go in? We better be careful. This area is the den of a really nasty creature called Fangmon. That jerk has been trying to force us into being his henchmen. Those kids might be in real trouble. We'd better find them before Fangmon does. Fangmon. He can hide his presence. But... wait, what's that over there? I think I see someone. Yes, it's Saki and Shuji. And there's something huge chasing them. Oh no, it's Fangmon. Oh no, they're in danger. We'll never get there in time. So, do we try and get its attention, or do we just run over there and... I mean, if the assumption is that we can't get there in time, I would think just hurrying wouldn't help, so... then we try to distract it. I'll get its attention and buy some time. Hey, fathead! You'll have to get through us. Good, it's looking at us. Everyone hurry.
教授無事だったんですか？
You being the professor in this case, I guess, just based on context and what I've heard them say before.
ああ、君たちも無事で何よりだ。いや、まだ無事ってわけでもない。
Yeah. Agreed. Not exactly safe yet.
待ってろよ。無事で済むよ。今俺が助けてやるからな。
何でかい態度取ってんのよミノル。さきさん、それよりその子たちはよくわかんないけど私たちを助けてくれたの。フローラモンにロップモンだ。
知り合いなのか？
初めて見た。初めまして。
First time he's ever met them, but he knows their names?
挨拶はあと今はこいつよ。
おやおや、獲物がさらに増えたな。
あいつ喋れたの？嘘。
よそ見をしてる場合じゃない。
I know, Saki fell down. Wonder why she fell. I guess maybe trying to get away, she tripped or something. I don't know. Hey, Shuji. I can't believe you just left Saki behind.
でやべえ。背後にも別の怪物がうじゃうじゃ来たぞ。
例のファングモンの手下ってやつか。まずい、挟み撃ちになる。
こんな連中僕たちで十分だよ。
ああ、俺たちに任せろ。
あ、教授。
一人でさっきを助けるつもりか？無茶だ。
Well, I mean, somebody's gotta try to save her, I guess.
大丈夫かね、サキ君。さあ、私の肩につかまりたまえ。君たちもこっちに。もう心配しないでいいよ。
ありがとう。助かったわ。教授、後ろ。
心配しないで。だと。それは残念だったな。この子たちだけでも。
So,
嘘。
seems like he got pushed off the side.
おっと、そこのチビを狙ったのに手が滑っちまったぜ。マジかよ。おしまいだ。
Alright.
なんだ、何が起きたんだ。
I don't know. There's still some little bits that I think kind of get lost in translation, or like aren't quite conveyed accurately by the words. No way. The professor fell?
さて、お前らも全員ちゃんと順番に落としてやれや。
Uh-oh. I can't think. My brain stopped. Offer encouragement, I guess? Because, I mean, I don't know how much help the other options are going to be. Plus, I did say I would kind of default to that particular characteristic when in doubt.
たくま？
たくまくん。
立ち止まってたら死ぬだけだ。生き残りたかったら立て。顔を上げろ。戦え。 駄なこと。
行くぞアグマン。
Alright, and battle time. Maybe should have taken my webcam out of the mix earlier, but still. They're being pushed back. At this rate, they'll all be done for.
なんだ、ご立派なことを言っていたが、こんなものか。いい子ぶって出しゃばってきただけか。邪魔なやつめ。
そんな私は。
So, most of the time when it shows a particular character and their Digimon like this, or at least the past 2 times that's happened, yeah, there's been, well, whatever, I'll just let it play out. Playing the hero? Am I just acting like a foolish brat? I wanted to save them.
葵、あいつの言うことなんか聞いちゃダメよ。葵はいい子ぶってなんかいないわ。本当にいい子なのよ。本気で助けたいのよ。ラボラも葵はちゃんと強い願いを持ってるわ。私は知っている葵の思いを。私の思い、私はもっと強くなりたい。でもそんな勇気なんて持ってない。ううん、勇気はあるわ。だってここに立っているもの、戦ってるもの。お願い、
Yeah, I
気
mean,
づいて。
true.
ラボラも私頑張る。私前に進む。みんなのために、自分のために。ラボラもそうその気持ちよ葵。
And looks like Labramon's about to digivolve.
全身に染み込んでくる。
Even with the old, you know, anime, like, power-up kind of, you know, kind of sound, whatever you want to call it. Anyway. Not surprising that the evolution is another dog type thing. Doberman.
葵、その姿って。ほら、葵の思いはこんなにも強い。だからこそ私に力を与えてくれたのだ。葵の強さは私が保証する。正しい心があれば強い力を使うことができる。ラボラもさてと覚悟しろ。お前に道理を教えてやる。それと葵、私はもうラブラモンじゃない。ドーベルモンだ。
Yeah, that's...
やはり人間の子供の力。
That would have to be a bit confusing in those situations. It's like, oh, you changed into something totally different. But like, you're still kind of the same. So like, I don't know. Having to use different names all the time, depending on the different evolutions, I guess is what I'm trying to refer to there. Okay, so we've already got... So we've already got Floramon, Lopmon, and Dobermon here. Might as well use the other partner Digimon. So we've got Kunamon, Falcomon, and Agumon. Let's go. Oh yeah, by the way, I've figured out if you suspend the battle, like, you pretty much have to pick up with that the very next time you get into the game. Anyway, Fangmon's henchmen approach from below. Looks like they're pretty good at vertical movement. Units with a low vert move stat may be hindered from moving to higher places. Keep an eye on a unit's vert move stat whenever you feel like taking the low road. So, I guess the question now is, how much attention do I pay to the Numemon over here versus the Gazimon in front of me? I could just prioritize one or the other. Like, I don't necessarily want anyone to get cut off for any reason. I think I'm going to focus my efforts on the Gazimon here first. Let's evolve him. Not sure that I want to increase his mobility that much just yet. Agumon, did you evolve to Tyrannomon? I guess I'll move you over here. Okay, Kunamon can't move all that far just yet. Just in case the Numemon get closer than I'm hoping for, I'm actually going to have him turn around. Floramon will go here. Yeah, that particular Numemon at least is getting kind of close. Alright, you go there. I'm pretty sure you can't hit anything just yet. I could attack with that. Although that's quite a bit... It's quite a bit of SP to use. For not necessarily a lot of output. A lot of damage, I'd say. Plus, that allowed Dobermon to guard from that attack. Alright, Kunamon's gonna move here, end the turn facing that way. Kunamon is apparently gonna be my rear guard for all this. If Numemon manages to catch up to Kunamon, then I might have one of the others turn around and, you know, focus on the Numemon just so Kunamon doesn't end up dying. Alrighty. I think at this point, I will go for increasing his mobility. So that way I can get all the way behind this Gazimon. And pretty much be able to take it out in one shot. I guess end the turn facing that way. Alright. Dobermon's gonna go here. Attack. Neither one's gonna be a kill shot, so I'll just go with the regular attack. And not use SP. Somewhat needlessly. Nice. And now Tyrannomon's gonna use Fire Breath to deal the rest of... It missed. It made it look like it hit the freaking the barrels in front of Gazimon. But whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on his stat boost for a bit. Well, maybe Gazimon missed too, so at least there's that. Alright, moving you this way. I'm gonna have Lopmon take this path. Just so, Diatrimon has a little bit of backup. Rain of Pollen. Ah! I thought maybe that would be enough, but not quite. Oh well. Hey, team attack. There we go. Nice. Also gonna end Floramon's turn. Oh, jeez. Numamon finally caught up with Kunamon. Alright. Diatrimon. I'm gonna have him go here. Use Destruction Roar. Bam. Okay. Gonna move most of the rest of the crew further this way to Fangmon. But Tyrannomon is gonna come back here real quick and help out Kunamon. Boom. Oh, I should have had him talk with Takuma. Because, you know, then he would have been able to deal more damage from that, I guess. Electric Thread. Just because I think there's a slight chance of paralyzing. Nope. Okay. Lopmon, you can go there. Floramon, you can go there. Great. You know what? Might as well, since I can get all the way behind Fangmon. Oh yeah. Especially because that deals like over half of his health. Ouch. That hurt though. And none of the others are going to be able to reach Fangmon yet. Maybe not my best idea ever. I think Kunamon will be able to handle that Numamon the rest of the way. Talk to Takuma. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try and leave that to Kunamon. Get a side attack going here. Which seems like it should be enough, but just to be extra sure. There we go. Alright, Kunamon. Alright, moving Lopmon over here. Floramon there. Alright. Unless the next attack would be able to... that might be enough. In fact, yeah, it looks like... Hey! Victory! Okay. Fangmon defeated. And yes, I know there were chest things down the other way. Honestly, most of those end up being things that I don't use much, if at all. Ooh, hey, a mature enlightenment slab. Involves a free monster to champion. And while you might think, well, Matt, you've been using all the party Digimon so far, all the partners and whatnot. Yes, but eventually that might be needed.
やった。あんな強そうなやつをやっつけたぞ。すごいよみんな。
一体どうなってんの？
いろいろ訳があってね。お前らだってそいつら。
こっちもいろいろあって、この子ロップモンとはすっかりお友達なの。
僕には懐いてないようだけどね。
修二さんがこの子に辛く当たるからだよ。
Yeah, sounds a bit closer to how Ryo and Kunamon interact.
可愛いのに。
Really?
くそ。なかなかやるじゃねえか。
そんな、あれだけやってまだ動けるのか。
こいつめちゃくちゃ頑丈だよ。
だが諦めるわけには。
葵は私が守るんだから。
お前らそんなボロボロなのに。
戦おうとしてくれるのね。
They must have reached their limit by now. I don't think we have any strength left.
この数相手じゃ分が悪いか。
あ、逃げたのかな。
Sure seems like it.
助かった。
We survived somehow. Hey, going after it, I don't know if that's a great idea, because we're already beat up. Resting, there might be others that would come to fight us, so I say let's get out of here.
みんな疲れてるだろうけど、まずはここから離れよう。ここが安全だって決まったわけじゃないん
Okay.
だ。
I'm gonna bring the webcam back.
ああ、そりゃそうだけど、まだちょっと無理だよ。
ねえ、教授はどうなったの？
Yeah, the professor. It was hard to say, and as I hesitated, someone else said it.
おい、見ろよ。下。霧が。
たくま、早く離れよ。霧は危ないよ。
うん。
It's so thick. Just looking at it gives me the shakes.
ひょっとしてさ、教授まだ生きてるんじゃねえの？
And would he not be in the fog there?
教授が落ちたのって霧が出る前じゃん。だったらあの霧には触れてねえかもじゃん。
Yes, but he fell.
死んだとは限んねえだろ。きっとな、そうだろ。
Technically, no, not for a fact.
確かに確証はない。死体を見たわけでもない。しかし仮に霧がなかったとしても、この高さからでは。
そんなのわかんねえだろ。俺下に降りて探してくる。待て、ミノル。
Yeah, I don't know about that.
いや、僕も行く。ちゃんと確かめたい。
私も行くわ。無事な可能性があるなら助けないと。
And how much you want to bet everybody's basically gonna end up going?
君たちだけ
Yep.
は心配だな。僕も引率しよう。
俺も行くからな。
Of course, Rio's the last one to chime in, pretty much just because he doesn't want to get left behind.
みんなで教授を探しに行こう。そうか、下は水路になってたよな。マジで無事かもしれないよな。みんな下流に向かおう。流されている可能性が高い。それから声を出すんだ。教授に呼びかけて。
教授教授教授どこ？
おーい教授。
You would think they'd want to spread out a little bit first before doing all that.
何今の声。
さっきのやつだ。この近くにいるのかも。
たくま、僕まだ。
分かってるよ。不意打ちを食らわないように様子を見るだけだ。
Okay, and there's Fangmon. He's there, but
あれ、かなりボロボロじゃねえか。
no duh, he's been roughed up.
そうね。私たちが思ってた以上にダメージを与えられてたのかしら。
それも気になるけど、それより
なんかあいつ霧にまとわりつかれてない？
あ、本当だ。足元がほとんど霧に覆われて動けなくなってんのか。
I mean, that's not inherently obvious just from what I'm seeing, but maybe because maybe the actual scene, you know, in the game is such that, yeah, it's kind of more obvious there.
なんでだろう。あの霧を見てると不安になってくる。
I get what Shuji's saying. Agumon and the others are backing off. Ryo can't even stand the sight of it. I think right now we want to focus on observation. Although, like, yeah, we're scared, but with Takuma being sort of the leader of the group, it wouldn't be wise to have him show that fear too much. I'm gonna go with observation. It's scary, but if we close our eyes, we won't learn anything. We should watch it. We might find some way to deal with it. We just can't know.
なんだ。
やめろ来るな。
Is that Fangmon freaking out?
くそこんなことでやだ。
And it literally just got completely swallowed up. That was crueler than I could have imagined. None of us can even speak. And moving on to part 3. Alright, what? Oh!
やだもう。いちいち なんでうちに指図すんのよ。
I mean, while there is more dialogue here, I also think the start of this part is a decent stopping point. You know, in the adventure, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for now with Digimon Survive. Okay, I do real quick want to take a look at some stuff here. Right, so out of all the, I mean, Guilmon's just the highest level free monster I have anyway, so of course if I'm gonna have any of them Digivolve, it's gonna be Guilmon. Plus, he was, you know, the special month 1 pack or whatever, like, kind of bonus stuff that we got. Okay. I want to see if I can't get some equipment on Lopmon and Floramon. Get each of them an Aegis Crystal at least. I could give them Guard Break and Guard Charge. Maybe just as placeholders for now. Although, really, one of the two of them should have the Learning Crystal. Where is that? Where's the Learning Crystal? It is currently on Labramon. Let's remove that, or I guess change it to raise. Go with Guard Charge, I guess. Floramon's technically a lower level, so I will give the Learning Crystal to Floramon. And then Lopmon, I guess I'll get Guard Break for now. Or maybe I'll give Agumon the Guard Break for now. And Lopmon the Aegis Crystal. Since it's lower level and, you know, therefore easier to get killed. Anyway. Okay. Alrighty, let me, because I want to do one more little bit of Bible study before I wrap up the stream. Let me switch back over to that. And then we can, you know, finish this off. Again, normally I would do a little bit more on the gaming end of things, but A, I have other plans for the day, and B, I also have already in my backlog, I have one more gaming video than Bible study video. So in order to balance that out, I'm gonna do things like this. Anyway, okay, let me switch things back over, and then we'll finish off the final part of, you know, my first live stream back to YouTube. Okay. So here we are back with more Bible study. Alrighty. So now we've got Exodus 27. And again, the recent chapters have pretty much just been God establishing rules for the people, as well as, especially the last two chapters, have been mostly instructions regarding the building of the tabernacle, which is like going to be their place of meeting with God, essentially. Probably a few other things for it, but we'll get into that as we progress through Exodus here. So, yeah, let's hop right in and see what we got. So, chapter 27. Using acacia wood, construct a square altar 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. Make horns for each of its four corners, so that the horns and altar are all one piece. Overlay the altar with bronze. Make ash buckets, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans, all of bronze. Make a bronze grating for it, and attach 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. Install the grating halfway down the side of the altar, under the ledge. For carrying the altar, make poles from acacia wood and overlay them with bronze. Insert the poles through the rings on the 2 sides of the altar. The altar must be hollow, made from planks. Build it just as you were shown on the mountain. Okay, so the dimensions, again, are technically certain numbers of cubits, but that's just the kind of estimated conversion into feet. And so, sorry, just trying to, so we're constructing an altar here, as the subsection heading suggests. So they're making an altar and using bronze, well, wood overlaid with bronze, I guess. But, so kind of going back a bit to one of the ideas from last chapter and the different metals and their significance. So it seems like this would go kind of to the outer extent of the tabernacle, given that it's bronze. Because, again, all the stuff in the most holy place was made of gold, and then the holy place a bit outside of that seemed to have silver. Although, maybe that's not quite accurate, because there was also gold used for the lampstand that was supposed to be in just the outer holy place. So, maybe my idea on that is a little bit off. But in any case, you know, those instruments were still used, you know, in the worship of, although the altar would also be used in the worship. So I guess on the whole, my theory doesn't quite hold up. But anyway, so yeah, altar for burnt offerings made of wood overlaid with bronze, I guess. Because, you know, trying to make it that thick of pure bronze would require so much more. And I think that's a big part of the reason why for a lot of these different pieces, they're using, you know, wood to kind of actually lay out the structure of it, and then just like supporting or overlaying the wood with the different metals to make it stronger. But anyway, moving on to verse 9. Then make the courtyard for the tabernacle, enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, make the curtains 150 feet long. They will be held up by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze bases. Hang the curtains with silver hooks and rings. Make the curtains the same on the north side, 150 feet of curtains, held up by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. Hang the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the west end of the courtyard will be 75 feet long, supported by 10 posts set into 10 bases. The east end of the courtyard, the front, will also be 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance will be on the east end, flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side will be 22.5 feet long, supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. The curtain on the left side will also be 22.5 feet long, supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. So, as I recall, well, if I recall correctly, because this is saying 150 feet, yeah, other parts of the tabernacle so far have been smaller. So, I mean, with this talking about the courtyard, it makes sense that it would be bigger and, like, even further branching out from that. And we also have kind of more officially, you know, the dimensions of that, and the fact that the east end is in fact the entrance. I mean, it was kind of implied in the last chapter, but this one kind of says it outright. So, I guess, as things now stand, you've got the east end as the entrance with, you know, curtains being a certain length so that they can come down and, you know, still cover the overall tabernacle. So then entering there, you get into the courtyard, which would be more of a general place of meeting and worship, which I guess could also be where they do, like, offerings and sacrifices. That hasn't, I don't know if that's been kind of spelled out outright as of yet. But anyway, and then, so you've got the east and west ends are sort of the shorter sides of the tabernacle, and then the north and south stretch about double the length of those. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, moving on to verse 16. For the entrance to the courtyard, make a curtain that is 30 feet long. Make it from finely woven linen, and decorate it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. Support it with 4 posts, each securely set in its own base. All the posts around the courtyard must have silver rings and hooks, and bronze bases. So the entire courtyard will be 150 feet long and 75 feet wide, with curtain walls 7.5 feet high, made from finely woven linen. The bases for the posts will be made of bronze. All the articles used in the rituals of the tabernacle, including all the tent pegs used to support the tabernacle and the courtyard curtains, must be made of bronze. Okay, so maybe my theory about the different metals and proximity to God in this whole thing still holds up, kinda, generally speaking, because all this outer stuff it's saying is made of bronze, although I guess some of the posts, let's see here, silver rings and hooks, I forget if it said the support posts or whatever would be silver or bronze. 20 posts, I mean, it mentions bronze bases. It doesn't even actually say that those would be made out of metal. So they could be wood posts at this point. Anyway. So all the articles used in the rituals of the tabernacle would be bronze. So yeah, that kind of gives me the indication, which would make sense. This courtyard area might be more where the sacrifices are made, you know, on the altar, which is also made of bronze. And then as the priests would bring particular portions of the offering further in, then we get to, you know, things being made more of silver, getting into possibly the holy place, which would involve the table, which was made of gold. But, well, the table and the lampstand there are made of gold. And I think those are just in the holy place, because the most holy place, I think, just has the Ark of the Covenant. But anyway, let's, did I miss? No, so far all the footnotes I think have just been, you know, about the measurements being in cubits in the original Hebrew. So anyway, let's carry on and wrap things up, I guess. Verse 20. Command the people of Israel to bring you pure oil of pressed olives for the light, to keep the lamps burning continually. The lampstand will stand in the tabernacle in front of the inner curtain that shields the Ark of the Covenant. Aaron and his sons must keep the lamps burning in the Lord's presence all night. This is a permanent law for the people of Israel, and it must be observed from generation to generation. So that footnote says, in the tent of meeting, outside the inner curtain that is in front of the testimony. So, yeah, the lampstand, as I was thinking before, is just outside of the curtain for the most holy place. Also later, I believe, referred to as the Holy of Holies. Or maybe that's more so for the temple when that gets built. I don't know. Anyway, the most holy place has the ark, and, like, that's it. And then outside of that, we've got the lampstand and the table, because, you know, that table might be where the priests would, you know, take of their portion of the offerings, although that hasn't really been established yet. But later on, you know, we find out that, yes, the priests get a particular portion of the people's offerings for themselves, and that's kind of their payment for their, you know, priestly services. So then, you wouldn't want that table, though, to be in the most holy place, in the presence of God, because, you know, it's still a table where you're, like, you know, eating meals, or at least consuming some sort of food, generally speaking. So, yeah, anyway. So we've got the light, you know, from the lampstand being just outside to give the priests light and visibility for the most holy place, as well as, or at least for getting into the most holy place, as well as for the outer holy place. And then, once again, outside of all that, you've got the general courtyard for the tabernacle, where they would usually have you know, other sacrifices and meetings and things like that taking place that would possibly involve, you know, people who weren't just the priests. So, and again, this is sort of establishing how the people are going to worship and, you know, commune with God moving forward. So anyway, kind of a short chapter. I guess that about wraps things up. And I think that will also kind of wrap things up for the live stream. As I've said, I have plans. I should probably, because of those plans, be eating dinner fairly soon. And, yeah. Then I gotta go. Dang it. I did a wrong thing. I hit the keyboard shortcut for OBS to change to this, but I was still actively on the Chrome window. So I made a new tab on there instead. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's gonna have to do it for now. Hope you've all enjoyed the live stream. As I said sort of at the beginning, I may... I don't know if I'm quite going to be able to do my usual stream day and time next week. In part because I'm going to have a particular, like, all-day plan going on. Or at least most of the day. And the only thing more I'll say about that is that's hopefully, you know, building up to something job-wise and income-wise that could kind of possibly lead to a better, you know, ability to do more of this stuff on here in the future. Fingers crossed, hopefully. But we'll see how that all pans out. Right now, it's just sort of a thing on the side that I have to kind of, you know, get the basics taken care of and lay the groundwork for. So anyway, but yeah, because I'll be doing that next week, stream isn't going to be quite the same. But still, on the whole, live streams are back here on YouTube for the foreseeable future. Unless things take off with that whole side gig, and then maybe I'll have more time available to do more of these things, and it might be kind of a balance of Twitch and YouTube as far as the live streams are concerned. But anyway, yeah, so that's it for now. I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you whenever I happen to stream next. I may whip up a Saturday stream next week just because of day. Or maybe I'll do both Thursday and Saturday, just both being kind of shorter. Who knows? Anyway. And stream is kind of lagging out, so I guess it's time I go. Till next time, stay cool, people. Do